Hello friends in District 4, this is Commissioner Ryan Baty, and I'd like to share with you a quick update on things we are working on here at Sedgwick County. For this month's newsletter, I'm going to take a different approach because I want to share with you some content from an op-ed I'm working on called Property Tax Pains. As a county commissioner, I take a lot of calls and emails from constituents. Every week, I will talk to people about issues they are having on a wide variety of topics. County roads and bridges, mowing and ditches, rezoning cases, homeless encampments, and a host of other issues. By a wide margin, though, the topic that I feel the most messaged about is the rising levels of property taxes. There is no other issue that creates as many questions and concerns for citizens in this community than the painful, growing cost of this type of ad valorem tax. Property taxes, admittedly, serve a vital role for local government. They're the most dependable and stable form of revenue for cities, counties, school districts, townships, and other local taxing jurisdictions. And all these taxing jurisdictions are providing services for taxpayers. Property taxes are an integral part of how local governments pay for services like public safety and public works. Despite their importance and their role, local elected representatives need to understand the angst and the general frustration in our community around the topic and the expectation our citizens have that we pursue property tax relief. I hope to share a lot of thoughts on the situation and a potential path forward over the next few months. First, though, it's incredibly important to have a sincere acknowledgement of not just the frustration with the rising cost, but the factors that are influencing property tax increases in our community. You can't set out to fix something you don't fully understand, and there's a lot of confusion around the topic and what is exactly influencing these increases. Property taxes are a product based on the value of the asset. The biggest factor influencing growth in your property tax bill is the increase in valuations on residential and commercial properties. In 2022, 88% of residential properties in Sedgwick County had a change in valuation. In that year, the median change was 7% increase. 2023, 80% of residents had a change in value with a 10% median increase. And that trend continued in 2024 with 60% of properties seeing a median increase of 8%. For 3 years in a row, the housing market was red hot. Low inventory and low interest rates, coupled with liquidity in the market and high demand, drove record sales prices. Anecdotally, we all know someone that listed their home on the market and received multiple offers the same day it was listed. Many of those offers were over asking price. By state statute, the county appraiser uses market sales data in his formula to calculate property valuations, and the data from home sales is what delivered the growth in the value of residential units. A second factor influencing our property taxes is the growth in the cost of local government. As with private citizens and businesses, local government is also struggling with increases in our goods and our services due to inflation. From 2019 to 2024, here are some examples just from Sedgwick County government on that inflation. Utilities in our facilities have increased by 57%. Construction costs on facility projects are up 45%. Insurances are up 442%. The cost of a new ambulance or sheriff patrol vehicle is up 65%. Even items on our ambulance, like medical oxygen, that's up 248%. These inflationary costs are impacting local government budgets in real ways. What else is influencing the rising cost in government? The biggest factor has been compensation adjustments. With a workforce of nearly 2,800 employees, Sedgwick County government has had to make very dramatic compensation enhancements in order to stabilize the departments, attract and retain staff, and ensure that our employees can also endure inflationary pressures in their own personal budgets. Since 2020, we have added over $60 million into compensation to accomplish these goals and improve the service outputs to our taxpayers. These strategic and targeted adjustments have dramatically improved our staffing, and it also dramatically improved our outputs. Nearly every metric we measure, particularly in public safety, has seen progress. But let's be honest, it has also come at a heavy cost. Practical examples help to illustrate that point. Let me give you an example. In 2022, in the midst of a surging behavioral health and substance use crisis in our community, the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Department was down nearly 120 deputies to run the jail and patrol our streets. Working alongside our elected sheriff, the county commission was obliged to respond and tried to pass compensation reforms that gave our elected sheriff the resources he needs to staff his jail and do the job the community elected him to do. The $80+ million budget for the sheriff now represents nearly 40% of our total property tax levy to the community. That's right. One of 46 departments at the county represents a significant amount of our tax levy. But universally, the community believes that we had to respond to make sure public safety was adequately resourced to keep this community more safe. Lastly, one of the largest influences on rising property taxes is the combination of too many taxing jurisdictions. In Sedgwick County alone, we have over 120 taxing jurisdictions making up your property tax bill. The county's portion is only about 20%. One commissioner can discuss plans and work to keep our portion of your bill in check. But without the commitment from other taxing jurisdictions to lower their mill levies, there really isn't much progress that can be made. So we know the common sentiment of many of our taxpayers. We also know the causes behind much of the growth in the cost of local government. The bottom line is, what's the plan forward? What can we do to change this community from being moderately high property tax to moderately low? Can we modernize local government by sharing more services, eliminating redundancies, finding more efficiencies? The answer to all of those questions is a resounding yes. We can and we should. I hope to provide options and a path forward over the next few months, and I'm hoping you're going to stay involved in this process. These conversations will be crucial, and I need to know how you feel and how I can best serve you. If you have any questions or simply want to share some feedback, I'd love to hear from you. I need to hear from you. Please feel free to give us a call here at the office or send me an email directly. As always, thank you, District 4.